It's like, don't, not like that. So there was this guy, right? This was a turning point for me. There was this guy, older guy. At the time I was 21. This guy who's about 30. His name is Pisces. This is his real name. Shout out to him. I hope you see this one day. Hopefully you all right. Uh, his name was Pisces, man. I never forget this dude. Older dude, 30 years old. He was like 30 years old, but he was like a big time. I was like small time at this time. When back then I was like a small type. I was doing good for my age, but I wasn't on this dude's level. This dude's big time. He took a liking to me while I was there, and I was like, he would teach me a lot of shit, like teach me how to run like this little gambling operations, like basically like I was like his protege, right? So we outside on a little basketball court at one of these days, and I'm like stressing. I'm trying to talk to him about it, and he like snap on me. His name is Pisces. So that's dude changed my life. He was like, listen, bro. He was like, listen, man. Like snap, like, look, bro. I don't want to hear. Fuck that bitch. I don't want to hear about that bitch no more. I don't want to hear about that shit no more. If you're gonna be talking about that shit, stay the fuck away from me. I got my own shit going on. I'm fighting life and all of this shit. I don't want to hear about that shit. Fuck that bitch. And fuck you if you keep talking about her, right? So I'm like, damn, because it's my big homie. So I'm like, damn, like it's like that. He's like, yeah, man. He was like, this is the thing you young motherfuckers don't get, right? This is what you don't understand. He was like, the bitch treating you like that, the bitch doing you like that because you ain't even got your shit together. You ain't got yourself together. And if you don't have yourself together, you can never control no bitch. You can never have no bitch. And a bitch gonna always do you dirty until you get your shit together. Get your fucking shit together. He was like, you in this situation, because he know my case. And he's an older, smarter guy. He was like, you in this situation right now. He was like, you in here for some shit you ain't do right now. There's a reason that you in this motherfucker. Use the time wisely to get your shit together. Sit down, chill out, get your mind right, get your body right, and stop worrying about these. Because I used to always talk about chicks, like, because I thought it was a thing to do, like talk about this hoe, this hoe, this hoe, this hoe, this girl seeing me, this girl writing me letters, this bitch. And he was like, you just all you fucking think about, and it's all you fucking talk about. He laid
What
it into me, huh?
what did he mean when he says get your shit together?
Just get your mind together, get your mind together, focus. You know what
Not
I'm saying?
finances or your personal, like your
Yeah, all
mentality.
that too, but that too, he meant everything. He meant
Mm.
everything. Because at the time, like I was in jail, man. The little couple thousand I had, niggas that stole that. I didn't have no money. I was relying on chicks to give me money and shit. And I would be gambling and shit. Like I gambled a lot. So yeah, I didn't he was talking about everything, but he was like, man, get your shit together. He was like, you in
Was he
here.
screaming like money muscles game, motherfucker, money muscles game?
Yeah, he was like getting into my ass, like I thought he was gonna try to fight me,
Yeah.
right? Um, and he's basically telling me like, if you ain't together, you'll never be able to control no bitch. If you ain't together, nobody gonna take you serious. He was like, you in this motherfucker for a reason, and you're not taking the opportunity. He was like, look at the reason, sit and think about the reason you in this motherfucker. Read, motherfucker, get your mind right. Do some push-ups. He was like, you skinny as fuck. Somebody come up on you right now, they're gonna fuck you up. Like he laid it into me. He was like, you broke. You think these hoes love you, but they fucking don't. You know, the whole nine. Basically, like, listen, man.
This comment here.
He's
I'm,
like, I
I'm,
love you.
I'm laughing at this comment, not your stories.
He was like, nah, this is funny though. He was like, like shit that I never heard. Like, I wish my dad would have taught me, man. And from that point, and I didn't want to let that dude down, man, because he looked out for me like a lot. Like when I was, locked up, like I was like his little lieutenant for his little operations, little gambling operation. Yeah. And when he ended up getting his time, he ended up getting sentenced to 30 years for drug trafficking. And I took over his operation. I had the whole unit. I had the whole gambling operation. I started like not getting rich, but I started like making a lot of money in that shit, doing that. Eventually, a couple months later, I got sent to prison. But he taught me a lot about streets. He taught me a lot about like developing yourself and becoming like a stand up man who people respect. And he basically like groomed me and guiding me while I was in there because I was like young and wild and shit like that, like young and wild. And I wasn't really, my mom always taught me to progress and progress, but he made me see it for what it was and to see the opportunity, to take the opportunity to fix yourself and to really, really cultivate yourself. So I fucking hit the ground running. I'm in this motherfucker reading. That's when I got the 48 Laws of Power. That's when I first read that book. I read The Art of Seduction. I read The Art of War. I read all type of books I was reading. I would gamble and shit, but I would read. And I wouldn't be sitting outside with these dudes, trading war stories and talking about hoes. I wasn't doing none of that. I was like, trying to get myself together. And also, I didn't want to I knew that he was right, man. I didn't want to let him down because I know he loved me like a little brother. So the crazy part about it, he ended up going to prison, right? Or now, mind you, when he told me this was probably on. Remember, I told you the girl had told me this. This was probably day 4 of day 5 after she told me this, and I was still hurt. When he had that conversation with me, I instantly stopped even caring about that bitch. Like, I went and sat on my bed, and I was like, "Fuck that bitch." Like, I said out loud, I was like, "You know what? Fuck that bitch." And I never like, I didn't even care about it no more. Like, it didn't hurt no more. Just like instantly after that conversation, because what he told me, it stuck with me, right? So now I'm on this journey of, we call it now self-improvement. I didn't call it that back then, but now I'm on this. I'm reading. I'm trying to, read books. I'm learning all type of shit. I'm thinking about developing a plan. He was like, "You get out of here right now. Your ass will be back in 6 months. You ain't even got no fucking plan. You don't got a plan. You don't got shit." You know what I'm saying? So getting myself together. End up going to prison. I end up going to prison.
So you went from county to prison?
Yeah, you go from the county jail to prison, because I wasn't on the streets. I didn't have a bond because I had violated probation. So they called me one morning. I go to court. I get sentenced. After they get him back, they get this motherfucker back from the Keys, from the Keys, Florida Keys. He come up the next day off vacation. I end up, taking a plea deal. I'm not gonna go to trial because they got him now. But if they couldn't find him, I was gonna go to trial. But they got him, and he gonna get up here and lie. And 21-year-old black kid, a white guy in a police uniform, they gonna believe him. Period. So I ain't even finna play like that. I know I ain't do it. It's a reason why I'm in this motherfucker. Let me take my lick and go. Right. So I don't know. We can 2 years.
And how old were you at the time?
2.5 years. 20 or 21, something like this. 2006 when I got sentenced.
So 21.
Yeah, 21. So, they don't tell you where you're going. They don't tell you what time you're going. They come get you at like 3, because it's a like a escape risk. Like, if they know, hey, we're gonna come get you, the bus is gonna come at Thursday at 3 a.m. You can call somebody and say, hey, go kidnap the bus driver and put a bomb on the bus, and it's an escape risk. So they don't tell you. So I'm just asleep one day, boom, boom, boom. Hey, get up, you out of here. So all my shit, leave it behind. Get out there, I'm on the bus. Scared as a motherfucker. Scared, because it's a different ball game. Yeah, you hear the stories. It's county jail and prison is a completely different ball game. Scared out of my mind, bro. Never been this scared in my life. Because I ain't got no gun. Like, when I was on the streets, I had guns. I wish you would look at me crazy, say something to me crazy, or do I give it to you, but I ain't got no gun. And my hand skills ain't. I know I'm not scared to fight. I ain't never been scared to fight, but I know I'm aware enough to know that my shit ain't up apart like they need to be, right? So I'm on the bus, scared. I don't know where I'm going. I get here. I get there. They do the whole beating people up, the whole 9. They put down. That's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna even talk about that on here.
Who's beating who up?
The guards are beating inmates up. As soon as you get there, they get you there at 4:00 in the morning. You get there at 4:00 in the morning. It's cold outside. So if any kids or anybody think about doing anything legal, don't, because this shit is real.
They whoop your ass. You show up?
What? Man, listen, it's crazy. That's what listen, it's crazy. So we pull up.
You didn't tell me this before.
Yeah. This is a little deep, but I maybe have. I don't know.
No, you didn't tell. I would remember about them whooping your ass on arrival.
No, they didn't beat my ass. No, they didn't beat my ass. I'm saying that when you pull up, right? I remember pulling up. I just remember, like, damn, I want my mom, like I want my mom, like a kid, bro. Like, because you pull up and I'm looking out because you pull up to the shit, you see the fences, you see the chain link, you see the towers. I'm like, damn, I'm finally like I'm here. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't change it. I can't go back. So I see people, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and you can see everybody walking in a line. It's like robots, bro, because everybody's going to breakfast. It's like robots, the way like how everybody's moving methodically and stopping and shit. Like it's in Florida prison, they have what they call controlled movement, meaning you can't move when you want to move. You see what I'm saying? And you can see this. Like you can see everybody like straight, everybody's straight lines, everybody's walking, stop. It's just this controlled movement. You can see this from the bus. So I'm like, fuck. So we pull up under the thing. Old hick white guy, right? Get on the bus, chewing tobacco. He put his gloves on, say, I'm gonna call your name. By the next time when I call the next name, you better be off the bus. We shackled. Calling names. Just running. Because it's people who've been to prison before they know what time it is. So you see, call the name. They're getting up out of there, right? Get out the bus, you got to strip. Take out, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, it's cold. This is, I don't know, remember what time, month, but it's cold as fuck. Dick like this, because it's so cold, right? You naked. It's like 15 dudes, like 15 or 20 dudes on this bus, and you see buses pulling up from all of the different counties, right? I'm in the Hillsborough County bus. So you're outside, it's cold as fuck, naked, and it's 20 dudes outside. And here come the guards, like 15 of them, talking shit, spitting in your face, nigga this, nigga that. Boy, this is a white guy with gold teeth. White guy with gold teeth. Those hick white guys in these rural country towns in Florida hate gold teeth. They hate them. It's a white guy with gold teeth, and they hate white boys like that. Like, where you from, boy? He said some shit. As soon as he opened his mouth, she smacked him so hard, and they beat the shit out of him right there. I'm like shaking. What the fuck? Beat the shit out of him, right? Get him up out of there. Somebody else say something crazy. Beat the shit out of him. They take him away. Somebody else look crazy. Because they'll try to bait you. They'll spit in your face and shit. And you look crazy, beat your ass. Luckily, they ain't do shit to me. I'm sitting there shaking, right? Let's go through all this shit. So I go through a whole 6-hour orientation of this shit. You see, they showing you that this ain't the county jail. This is our house. It's like slavery. It's like watching like the movie Roots. It's the same. They do the same thing and break you like that in Florida. I don't know if they still do it, but back then, that's how they did it. So we go through this whole shit. I'm watching them do crazy shit to people. Hey, you fell asleep. Get up. Get in the dead cockroach. What's the dead cockroach? Lay on your back with your hands like this and your knees like this. And if you drop your hands on your knees, we're gonna fuck you up. So I seen a dude do that for 30 minutes, crying, like trying, struggling. He dropped it. They beat his ass, like crazy shit. While they trying to teach you rules and all this shit, they shave you all your face off. They put you in a chair. Give your haircut, one against the grain. They go backwards. All that dreads and all that shit, gone. Cut all your facial hair off, everything. We leave. Now we're getting ready to go to the dorms. I see Pisces. The first person I see. He's there. The first person I see. This is crazy how things work. It's the first person I see. And he busts out laughing. And he said, "You got your shit together yet?" And he said, "You got your shit together yet?" And he go off. I end up seeing him later on the yard, like when we went on the yard or whatever. I end up seeing him later, and we end up chopping it up and talking.